This speech Jesus gave to his 12 disciples when he's empowering and sending them out. In Mark and Luke, I mentioned that it's very short, only like 2 verses in Mark, 3 or 4 verses in Luke. But in Matthew, it's extremely long. It's like all of chapter 10. And I suspected it was because Matthew grabbed a few other things that Jesus said in other places and put them here. In Luke 10, it is pretty long when he sends out the 70, and I said wherever anything is repeated in Luke 10 from what's said in Matthew 10, I would just move it over to Luke 10, because this instance in Mark and Luke is very short. So I went more thoroughly through Matthew 10, and it turns out that Matthew added into here a bunch of other stuff that Jesus said, not just when he sent out the 70, but throughout his teachings. For example, the very next verse after what I've already put. Verily I say to you, it shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of judgment than for that city. That actually is in Luke 10. Verse 12. But I say to you that it shall be more tolerable in that day for Sodom than for that city. In Mark, it does actually have the statement when he's sending out the 12, verily I say to you, it shall be more tolerable for Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of judgment than for that city. That's the second half of verse 11. And it doesn't have in Mark Jesus sending out the 70 like it does in Luke. There's reason to believe it's only here when he sends out the 70, because both of these events are in Luke, sending out the 12 and the 70, and it only says that when he sends out the 70 that he mentions it'll be more tolerable in that day for Sodom than for that city. So maybe those mentions in Matthew and Mark should be there. Maybe Mark just didn't speak about sending out the 70 and just added that statement here. It's easy to believe that Matthew did that. It's not so easy to believe that Mark did that, because almost everything in Mark is in order. I don't like the repetition, but it is right there in Mark, right after he says, shake the dust from your feet. Yeah, I think I'll have it in both. I'll save those words exactly as it is in Luke for there, and I'll put how it's written in Matthew and Mark right here. I don't know if this is right. I guess I'm sort of being safe. Matthew, verily I say to you, it shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah. Verily I say to you. Verily I say to you. Okay. Let's see. It shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom. It shall be more tolerable for Sodom. So the land of is added in Matthew. Shall be more tolerable for. Now Matthew only. The land of both Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of judgment. Then for that city. in the day of judgment, and for that city. Okay, all the same. Now again, I'm not really sure about this. I don't like the repeat, but it kind of makes sense that, I guess you could say, if they don't accept you, shake the dust off your feet for testimony against them. It'll be more tolerable for them in that day. And then to just say that again, this is the reason why. I promise you, if they reject you, you're not accepting their rejection. I will judge them way later, to the 12 and to the 70. He's saying that to both there. I guess it sort of makes sense.